everybody, it's Martha. Welcome to my Shabby Craft Studio. Today I am just sitting here doing some crochet. I got this idea from my new YouTube friend who lives in Australia. And her name is Tundra Maybell. And I have done this video 5 times this morning, but that's okay, because eventually it'll come out right. And I hope you will enjoy it. There may be periods where I don't talk, so I'm going to warn you ahead of time that there may be silent moments. But for right now, I'm just finishing up this crochet that I had started during another video that I sort of went off on a tangent on something that I know better than to discuss online. So I am going to delete that one and just show you what I'm doing. So I have this thread that I found in my basement because I also weave. And it's a cotton linen yarn. And what I'm doing is I'm making these little flowery ornamental type items, and I'm making them out of different cotton and linen yarn. This one is easier to see if I lift it up. And I am doing different stitches, and I just want to show you that if you crochet, you may already do this, but just go freeform. It's not like there's really much as far as rules. I'm just playing, and I've done all of these because they're real quick and real easy to do, easy to sit in front of TV if you have enough light. And I'm doing all kinds of shapes and sizes and types of them, and my plan is to use them on my slow stitching and in different ways. Now, this is a cotton linen yarn, and so are the lighter ones that I made. This is a different cotton linen yarn that came in a skein, a very thick yarn, and what I did was it comes apart in a 4-ply. I mean, these plies would also break down further if I wanted them to, but I don't. So I plan on using these for stitching as well. So it was a really good deal that I got at Tuesday morning. Our Tuesday morning is closing. But for this skein, I only paid $5.99. It's normally $12. So that's what I got. There were only 2 there, and I only bought 1. You can use regular crochet yarn. You could probably even use embroidery thread if you wanted to, like this. So we may play with some of this. How far you break it down, like this one, I would not break down any further than it already is, because it's already finer than the linen thread. Not by much. Oh, that's not the linen thread. Ah, Martha, silly girl. Here's the linen thread. So it's about the same size, maybe even a little thicker actually. So I'm using a very fine crochet hook. This one says 00 on it. That's the size. I have many others that are similar size, and I have some that are even finer. I have one that's even a smaller hook. This hook here, I will try and show you, is even tinier. See how tiny that is? This one's hard to crochet with for me. But these hooks are all about the same size, and except for this one, it's much tinier. So this is a E. This one is the 00 that I've been using. This one is a B or a 2.25 millimeter. So I don't know. I think they're all the same brand, but they all have different numbers on them. Go figure. So I might try this one. I think this one's a little bit a smaller hook than what I've been using. Now, I haven't done any with this crochet thread. This is 100% cotton. What I've been using is the cotton linen. And I feel like the linen has a better tooth to it. It has a little bit of stiffness to it. But anyway. So I hope this finds everyone well, feeling okay. Not affected by this virus in any negative way other than I think we're all a little tired of staying home. I was very tempted this morning to go out to the stores. I really am in desperate mental need of retail therapy. I've been shopping online, but I really shouldn't be doing that either. My husband is going part-time at work, which means a huge pay cut for us. So yeah, there's going to be that. So this is just a double crochet. Tundra did her original ones in a single crochet right around through this loop of the loop that we made with the single crochets, the chain. And this little tail end that I'm fighting with right now, I tend to crochet that into the first few stitches because, oh, darn, not like that. All right, we're going to start over. Cotton is a little trickier than the cotton linen. I feel like the cotton linen cooperates better. That could be my imagination. I don't know. So I just make a loop, just a slip loop, slip knot, and then chain like 4 or 5. Ugh. My thumbs do not want to cooperate. I have really bad arthritis in my thumb joints, so it's tough for me. And then my eyes are straining because even though I'm wearing my glasses, I'm working far away. So it's been a morning. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the general single crochet that Tundra did. Tundra, thank you for sharing what you did, and I highly recommend you go over to her channel. I will link the crochet video where she shows how she does these, but I highly recommend you look at her other videos because she's an amazing artist. She has hand dyed many of her own fabrics with cat's claw plant from her garden and some other dyes that she's used. And I'll tell you what, I've always wanted to dye my own fabrics. I just have never done it. Like, I have frozen avocados. I've taken the shells and the pits of avocados and frozen them, and they are sitting in my freezer just waiting for me to make avocado water. I haven't done it. Okay, so this is a really tiny one, and I could leave it just like that. Oops. So I could leave it just like that, or I can expand on it. I can crochet around again. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm gonna, that was a slip knot to pull through, so I'm gonna do a single crochet, and I'm gonna go in this next loop and pull it through. I'm gonna do a single crochet, go in the next my eyes. Go in the next loop, pull it through, single crochet, and I'm just going to go around doing that. See what happens. And that's how I crochet. I see what happens. I am a real rebel when it comes to following patterns. I can follow instructions okay, but I don't like to follow patterns. I am very much into doing what my heart tells me to do and what the materials tell me to do. And I know that sounds really weird, but when I struggle the most, it's because I'm trying to get what I'm working with to be what I want it to be instead of what it wants to be. And I know that sounds really out there and woo-woo and all that stuff. When I force something, I am totally unhappy with it, and it shows in the work. And when I'm having fun with something, it totally shows in the work. And it's a lot easier to understand that whatever you're working with needs to be what it wants to be. Now, I have no idea where I started, so I'm just guessing at this point. Again, you know, if you're picky and you feel like you need to, you can put a marker at the beginning. I'm just going to go until I feel like I'm somewhere near where I started, which is right about there. And I'm going to pull this through and pull it through again. And I'm going to cut it off. And then I'm going to pull it through one more time. And if you want to, you can do this more towards the center. You can put a little dab of glue on there. You can go in and pull this through. And I'm sorry for the mowing. It never fails. If I'm making a video in the summer, somebody's going to be mowing. If it's not the groundskeepers for the golf course, it's the neighbors. There. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. So just go to town. You know, what'd I do with that blue? All right, I took the blue thread out. There it is. I'm going to try it with this. I have not done it with embroidery thread before. And I think, yeah, that's just I don't think that'd be long enough. Crochet takes a lot of yarn. Or embroidery thread or whatever you're using. It takes quite a bit of it. So I'm just going to leave this in this is a 6 strand. I could strip it down to 3, but I'm not going to. Because I want to play. So this past weekend, about a week ago, I told my husband, maybe longer, I told my husband that I wanted to fix the closet in our bedroom. Because it is the stupidest setup for a closet ever. And really useless as far as where the hanging rods were placed. And we've been here 4 years, and that thing has driven me crazy all 4 years. So I'm doing a few more loops this time. Going back in the first loop, and I'm going to pull this through. Snug it up a little bit. Snug up I always put my yarn on the wrong side. Doesn't make any sense over there. And I'm going to catch the initial tail. I'm going to catch that in my first few stitches. So I'm going to do, this time I'm going to do double crochets in here. In the base circle. So I'm going to do 3. And then I'm going to loop around. I'm going to go through the center circle. And I'm going to hang on to that tail. go through 2 loops, go through 2 loops, loop over, go in the center, pull it through, go through 2 loops, go through 2 loops, do an extra loop. And I'm going to go around again. So I asked my husband if he would be willing to do something about changing things in the closet. And he does not like doing much as far as construction. And he also doesn't like doing things that I ask him to do, because I'm very picky. I am anal about things looking like they've been done with a lot of care. And he tends to be the guy that does it just to get it done. And there's nothing, I don't think there's a whole lot that makes me more insane than that. And so, yeah, I am picky, and I'm all about doing it and doing it well. That doesn't mean you can't have a little free form in your life. But for me, it's not about just getting it done. It's about taking pride in what you've done well. So needless to say, at some point I will be doing some patching and painting. Because even though he patched and painted, not acceptable. But we're not going anywhere anytime soon, so I've got time to do that. This is going to be pretty because it's variegated. I've always in my life been attracted to variegated threads and variegated yarns because I just love the way they make their own pattern when you're using them. Let's see. I'm gonna snip this because now that's just what's left of the tail. And I have a little boo-boo back there. I could go back and fix it, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's where a thread separated out of the batch. Oops, I was going to do extra one there. And I'm just throwing some extra stitches in like every other double crochet because I want to. It adds a little loop, I'm not the best teacher, so I'm not here teaching. I'm just here with you while I'm doing this. just a little chit chat, a little crochet. Just invited my friends over for some tea and a little crafting. So my husband is not home right now. He went out to see our horse. He goes out once a week and he grooms him and cleans his feet, makes sure he doesn't have any boo-boos, and makes sure he's not losing weight, making sure he's taken care of. All right, so I'm back at the beginning and I want to connect these two. Now I can connect them and then I could go around again. Maybe because we're playing with the variegated yarn, that's what we'll do. So I'm just going to go through that loop and do a slip knot. Okay, oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jiggle the camera. And then I think what we'll do is, oops, tighten that up. So I did a single crochet, and I did an extra loop on the first one. So we're going to do single crochet and an extra loop on the third one, single crochet, extra loop. Oops, come back here. See, now if I did that with knitting, the whole thing would be over. It'd be done. I'd be starting over, pulling it out, which is why Knitting is not my thing. Oops, come on, Martha. Okay. Maybe we'll do something different. Hold on. Let me go back to the beginning. I think there's a mosquito in here. I feel like it's biting me. All right, we're going to go back to the beginning. Okay, so we're still connected. I think what I'm going to do, something different. That's the dog snoring, I swear. Oh my gosh. See what I mean about freeform? Do a single crochet. And then I think I'll go in this loop. Do an extra loop. Go in this loop. Do an extra loop. Let's see how this works. And I'm not going in the crochet loops. I'm going in this space in between. Kind of put a like a ruffly edge on this because, you know, it's variegated yarn and it's going to look pretty. Oops. Get off there. Okay. Ooh, come on, Martha. Make a good example. Again, not a tutorial. Just me crocheting with my friends watching. So summer is when I normally hibernate here. Jeez Louise. The little 8-pound dog is sleeping right next to me. Usually she's across the room. And that's her. A Maltese. Just snoring away. What was I saying? Now I can't remember. Oops. Come on. Ah. So this does take a lot of yarn. So I will warn you, if you start doing this with your embroidery thread, it will take a lot of yarn. Crochet takes 3 times the yarn that knitting takes. I had a shop owner tell me that one time. I knew it took a lot of yarn to crochet, but I didn't know it was 3 times what it would take if you knitted the same thing. Almost there. Almost there. I think my hardest thing is keeping the loops under control, the loop sizes, and not letting the threads separate because I get lazy and I don't go back and fix those boo-boos. Uh-oh, like right there. All right. Let's see, where did I leave off? Right here. My eyes are starting to get blurry from all the close-up work. I can only do a few of these a night. Okay, so I'm back to the beginning. So I am actually going to connect it up here. All right. Now, if I wanted to make a stem, I would just crochet, single crochet a chain. But I'm going to go down in here and pull this thread through. And then I'm going to cut this. And I am going to pull this loop through to the back side. Maybe. And pull the loop through to the back. Or not. Through to the back side. Oh, come on, Martha. Never mind. I'm just going to pull it. See, I can't. Now it's going to come undone. I have to do a knot. All right. I'm going in. I'll pull that through. I'm going to go down to this hole and pull it through. As I said, not a tutorial. Just, okay, so I've made a knot and I'm going to pull this through over here to the back side, because that would be the front side. And then I generally feel better if I can make another knot out of it somewhere. So I'll pull it through, and then I feel like it's double knotted. So if I were sewing this, say I wanted to put this on a piece of, like on my shirt, on my, let me pull out. Say I took my shirt sleeve and I wanted to sew it there. Now I could sew it down with a very fine thread. So anyway, that's pretty. But there isn't much thread left. So if you have an overabundance of thread or whatever, there it is. So I hope you enjoyed that. And, you know, as I said, I've been going a little nuts making things, making a lot of these. Every night I do 2 or 3 or 4, depending on my light and my situation and what else I'm doing. And so you can use these on covers. You can use them on slow stitch applications. You know, if like my slow stitch, say I wanted to put something down here, or let me flip it over. Say I wanted to put something on here somewhere, like say I wanted to put that one right there in the middle of that, or if I wanted to put it right here on my slow stitch project, or I wanted to put it down here, right there, or I wanted to put it like right there. All I'd have to do is stitch it around. Say I wanted to put it, you know, around a button. Oops. I could actually loop that right around the button. Who knew, right? Of course, now I can't get it off, so it might stay there. You know, if you wanted to put this down and then put a yo-yo over it, or layer them, like say I put this one on top, you could do that. So just something to do, different, fun. If you're kind of lacking your crafting mojo and you know how to crochet, or you want to learn something new and you have some of this stuff hanging around, pull out a hook, pull out some yarn. You can practice on bigger, thicker yarn. You can use your, you know, stash of embroidery floss if it's been sitting around for years like mine. You can use whatever thread you might have sitting around. Say you have a bunch of this crochet thread sitting around. Pull it out. Pull it out and use it. It'll be fun. It's something different. If you have time, I have listed some fabric strips in my Etsy shop. I did a couple of folios and they sold, so I'll be doing a couple of more this week. And I am going to link Tundra Maybell, her YouTube channel, below in the description box. You know, the description box looks like an upside down triangle below the screen in the right hand corner of the video. I hope it's that corner. If it's not, it's that corner. But yeah, in the description box will be all of those things. It's a little arrow that looks like that under the video box. And if you're on a laptop or a desktop, it'll say show more under the description. So click on that and I hope you go visit her and give her some love. Give her some love. Tundra is has some super talent, and she's amazing to watch and has opened my heart to some new things. So please go subscribe. And I hope everyone has a wonderful, beautiful, healthy, sunny day, and that life is good for you. I know we're all struggling a little with this lovely virus that's going around. Oh, it's so not lovely. But, you know, we got to do what we got to do, right? So hang in there. If you've lost your paper crafting mojo and your crochet, make some flowers. Make some little patches. Decide to do something that's different and out of the box. And follow your heart. I hope I've inspired some of you. Take care. Hugs to you all. Love you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'll answer them as best I can. Take care, everybody. Bye.